Hey guys, welcome to another episode of a Dine Mall series. We're taking a trip way south of the Chicago Metro to Bourbonnais to the Northfield Square. I was excited to go outside of Chicago to explore this place, not only because it's a dead mall, but is the first, and hopefully not the last, of many other malls in Illinois to visit outside of Chicago. Today we're in Illinois for another dead mall visit. After getting on I-57 from Interstate 294, it took an additional 36 miles traveling south. I did it in about 40 minutes, going through rural Illinois to get there. It was definitely worth it. This mall is most definitely dead. The website only shows 37 stores left, but after visiting, it seems like there's a lot less than that. Right now, the mall only has one department store, which is a JC Penneys. Unfortunately, in October of this year, in 2020, the store will close as part of a plan to close 154 JC Penneys nationwide. This will leave the mall with no traditional anchors left. The mall opened in August of 1990, and it's at the intersection of Illinois Route 50 and Larry Power Road, just north of the Interstate 57 interchange. The original anchors were Carson Pirie Scott, JC Penneys, Sears, and Venture. And when it opened, it was 40% vacant. In 2012, the mall was 11.7% vacant. On June 20th, 2018, it was announced that Express Factory Outlet would open in the mall. The store would open next to Carson Pirie Scott, around the corner from Daily Journal near JC Penney, with a new Willow SPA and barbershop. On January 4th of 2018, it was announced that the Sears would be closing as part of a plan to close 103 stores nationwide. The store closed on April 9th of that year. On April 18th, 2018, it was announced that Carson Pirie Scott would also close both locations on August 29th, 2018, as the parent company Bon-Ton Stores was going out of business, which left JC Penney as the only anchor left. Whenever I go to malls, I like to add a little descriptor of the overall design as it relates to how one would shop here. The mall is a single level, with a single straight walk, having a slight bend at midpoint. There is an abundant amount of light entering from the skylights. The skylights take up a majority of the ceiling, so there's no shortage of illumination entering the spaces. It would be interesting though to visit here at night. I bet the space would look completely different when just the mall lighting illuminating everything. As said before, the mall is south of Chicago in a city called Bourbonnais. The mall serves a tri-city area with Bourbonnais, Bradley, and Kankakee. I think I pronounced all those names correctly, but correct me if I'm wrong. There isn't a lot of history relating to this mall. The mall was developed by two companies jointly, the DePartolo Group and the Investments of St. Louis. The current manager and owner is the Namdar Realty Group. An interesting aspect of this property is the Paul Mitchell School of Cosmetology. Students study the aspects of beauty treatment, from the hair, skin, and to the nails. Let's take some time to walk through this space, observing all the sights and sounds of the property. It's always good to walk the property without any narration and soak up all the nostalgia. Here we're walking through the empty food court. It didn't look like many places were even open. There was a couple places that had some employees at station, but it didn't look like they were serving any food at this time. One thing to note also is the amount of healthy plants they have. It seems like they do a pretty good job at keeping the plants alive despite them all being fairly dead. It's been a point of discussion and debate for years, but it now appears that there are clear signals for, despite them all being dead, it's set to enter the next phase of development. The signal came from none from other than the co-owner of the Bradley-based property, Mason Asset Management. The property is also co-owned by Namdar Realty Group, as said before. Elliot Nassam, president of Mason Asset, was recently quoted in saying that despite New York Times story about the fate of American malls as department stores are disappearing from the retail landscape, while Northfield remains open, there's no question the property as it currently exists cannot sustain itself in its current form. Filling in 1 acre space generally is doable, Nassam stated in the July interview, but once you get hit by 2 others and you're dealing with 3 anchor store closures, that's usually when we become a little more likely to put it into the bucket of redevelopment, he said. The redeveloper didn't give much detail on the timeline or what the changes were, but only time will tell on what will happen. So I might do a second video in a year or 2 to find out what's going to change. As of 2020, the city of Bradley also invested $15,000 into hiring the Greater Waukegan Development Coalition to look at the mall property from the perspective of a developer. The coalition would then share a process to make this project a success, meaning to find the best possible people who'd have an area of expertise and bring them into the partners to make these projects happen. In its report to the village, the group laid out the possibilities of intermingling housing, office areas, and some retail along with a convention center through a mix of repurposing existing spaces along with some likely new construction. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions on the property, I can try to answer them the best I can. Hit the like button and please subscribe to be notified for any new mall episodes, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks guys.